Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason. I'm speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. Today I'm continuing my list of top 20 favorite movies of the 1970s, doing each decade. Now I'm starting from 2010s, now I'm in the 1970s. I did one video on number 20 through number 16, so this video I'm doing number 15 through number 11 on my list. So number 15 on my list is a movie called Dog Day Afternoon, starring Al Pacino and John Cazale, playing two bank robbers. It's a strange premise to say. They robbing the bank because Al Pacino's character, who's actually married with kids and all that, also has a gay lover and is wanting to rob a bank to get the money to pay for his gay lover's sex operation, which is, I mean, and this came out I think 1975 or so. So I mean, that's a subject matter that really wasn't explored that much in that time period as it is today, and so it's pretty shocking kind of premise for a plot. Anyways, very bold. Director Sidney Lumet, love Sidney Lumet, one of my favorite directors. But of course, it's a bank robbery gone awry. Police come. Now they take hostages and negotiate with the police, and Al Pacino's character is trying to negotiate a way to get into like a car, to an airplane, to another country, try to get out of the situation without, getting killed. Anyway, so it's kind of this back and forth trying to figure out how to get out of the situation that he's in. John Cazale's character is a little more intense, willing to kill the hostages even, which Al Pacino's character doesn't want to do that. Just kind of somewhat of a bluff, somewhat of a, of course, negotiating piece, saying, don't come in, we're going to kill these people. Anyway, so it's a really good movie about robbery, and there's this great intenseness between them and the police, and there's also some comedic moments though that kind of surprise you that I really enjoyed about the movie. Great performance from Al Pacino. I think my favorite performance of him all time, in fact, even better than Godfather, which I think is really good performance. Al Pacino is so good at being intense. He has a great intense look to him. I just love the way it seems like he's always wet. He's always sweating in this bank, anyways, and it just adds to it. Anyways, and it's really, really good, well-made movie. Dog Day Afternoon. Definitely recommend it. Number 15. Number 14 is a movie called Jeremiah Johnson, starring Robert Redford as the main character, Jeremiah Johnson. This is I don't know if this is a movie that's talked about as much, but I remember this movie I saw as a kid, and I really enjoyed it. Robert Redford plays a bit of a wilderness guy, a mountain man, living on his own, like in a cabin, hunting his own food and making his own clothes and stuff, doing all that, wilderness stuff. And there's like snow and, it's hard conditions. Anyways, and it's kind of watching him living up there. And then at one point, he angers a Native American tribe nearby. And this Native American tribe kind of vows to kill him for his wrongdoing. Anyway, so he's constantly being ambushed by Native Americans, having to defend himself. Anyways, and so it's very on your edge a bit. You never know when someone's going to pop out and try to kill him. Very interesting how he, has to deal with that and get out of that situation at the end. I don't know, it's just a very fascinating movie, and Robert Redford gives a really good performance here as Jeremiah Johnson. Yeah, I think it's it's a movie definitely, if you ever find it, check it out. Sorry, I'm coughing a little bit. Number 13. What is the word? Grease is the word. I have Grease here at 13. One of my favorite musicals. I'll say musical comedy even. This is a movie I always loved as a kid. It's been a while since I watched it. I watched it recently. Still love it. I thought it might be a little too cheesy. It might not work as well. It might not age as well, but I still enjoy it just as much. Especially the comedic moments. Like, I didn't think about being that funny, or I didn't know the comedy would work well with me, but it still works very well with me. Love John Travolta in this role. He's this tough guy, but to me he's almost kind of this goofy tough guy the way he walks, just looking back his hair, Sandy, just the way he talks. I don't know. He just made me laugh a lot. I found in this movie, and I love his whole group, the T-Birds. I really like the whole '50s aesthetic. I love the costuming, the leather jackets, the dresses, the sock hop dances, the music, the cars, just the whole color scheme. I feel like, I don't know, I just enjoy '50s style, that era. It was really enjoyable, and the music works really well still. Summer Nights, Grease, the first song, Grease Lightning, I think is a really fun sequence. Um, you know what I know what I want. What it was, that last song is so catchy. With Olivia Newton-John in that black leather outfit, tight outfit, very iconic. Yeah, I enjoyed it all. I really immensely enjoyed this movie. And I've heard some people say that, yeah, they really don't like this movie. It's an overrated movie. I don't know. I still enjoy it quite a bit, even for its cheesiness. So yeah, number 13, I got Grease. Number 12, I got one of my favorite comedies called Out of Towners with Jack Lemmon and Sandy Dennis, written by Neil Simon, one of the great comedy screenwriters and playwriters. It's not, again, another movie I don't think is talked about as much, but absolutely hilarious movie. Jack Lemmon is so funny. My favorite comedic actor of all time. One of the great actors of all time for sure. But it's a movie about this married couple, parents that go into New York. I think they're from like the Midwest, and they're going to New York City to do a job interview, and they end up getting like plane delay. They don't reserve their hotel in time, their room. So then when they get there, they don't have a room. So now they got to figure out a place to stay for the night. And one bad thing happens to another. They miss their train. They end up like having to sleep outside. Just everything goes wrong on this trip, and it's absolutely hilarious. Jack Lemmon, he plays this he's very intense, very always angry at somebody, always worried about things. And he has this really great nervous energy about him that's so funny. In the way him and his wife talk back and forth and kind of argue and kind of he kind of yells at her sometimes. The good chemistry between him and Sandy Dennis, very funny together. And they're pretty much the whole movie is just them, just watching them go through these situations. And yeah, it's just definitely check it out. It's an absolutely hilarious comedy, Out of Towners. And then, so my last movie I'm talking about, number 11 on my list, is definitely a movie that probably nobody else has seen, I'm sure, watching this. It's not a really well-known movie. Definitely the most obscure movie I've talked about probably. But I'm a fan of Kung Fu movies, and this is one of my favorite. I call it Crippled Avengers, but the DVD says The Return of the Five Deadly Venoms, aka Crippled Avengers. It's because when it came out in China, it was called Crippled Avengers, but when it came out into the market in America, they renamed it The Return of the Five Deadly Venoms. They like to do that a lot with Chinese kung fu movies. The reason being, the director Chang Che, one of the great kung fu directors of that time, he put together this group of like 6 kung fu actors. All came out of the same Chinese opera school where they learned, kung fu and acting and putting on plays and stuff. And very good, very acrobatic, very good with weapons. I mean, just incredible martial artists. This group of 6, or I think usually it's about 5 of them. The very first movie they did together was called The Five Deadly Venoms. That's why this says Return of the Five Deadly Venoms, even though it has nothing to do with the Five Deadly Venoms. It has nothing to do with it. They're just trying to market it because that was such a famous movie that if they say it's Return of them, I think people would buy it, more likely to buy this movie if they think it's the same. It's the same actors, but not the same characters. Anyways, I love the fact that this director took these about 6 actors, and they made 5 or 6 movies together. This being my favorite of the group of movies that they made together. And they do such great choreography. The fight choreography is some of the best we've ever seen. I've ever seen. This came out around 1977. That was a really important time period for kung fu movies. Really, a lot of like they came out. Jackie Chan was coming out with movies and starting to become big, and a lot of the best movies were starting to come out kung fu wise at this time in China. Um, yeah, so there's about 5 actors here. I think that were in Five Deadly Venoms that are in this movie, and uh, to go over the plot, I call it Crippled Avengers because there's 4 characters, the good guy characters, that all have a disability of some kind because of the main bad guy. And even the main bad guy has a disability, kind of. Well, the main bad guy, his son, had both his arms cut off as a kid by a rival gang or whatever, and so he has metal arms. Anyways, he's kind of some of the richest guy in this town, and he's a real terror. He terrorizes everybody. Anybody who looks at him wrong, his son kills him because his son is really good at kung fu. And so then they come across these 4 different individuals, and each one has his son, or he does does something to him. One guy gets his legs cut off. One guy they gouge out his eyes, whatever, so he goes blind. One guy they put like hot oil down his ears, so he's deaf. And another guy they squish his head, so then he has brain damage, so he's kind of mentally, disabled. Anyway, so these 4 individuals go to a kung fu master and to tell him what happened, and he agrees to train them and using their disabilities as an advantage. Of course, the guy with no legs gets metal legs, so he is very good at kicking. Of course, the blind guy learns how to use his other senses. A guy who can't hear uses other senses. Anyways, and so they kind of learn to work together and become, really good at kung fu. And then they come back to the town to take revenge, or somewhat to liberate this town from this terror. Anyways, and so of course they come back to take out this I don't know what you call him, almost like a warlord and his family. Anyways, the kung fu is so great, and the training montage. Kung fu movies, you need a good training montage. This has like the best training montage I've ever seen. Love seeing them kind of acclimate to their senses, using their disabilities and how to become good at kung fu. Really fun part. And then the last fight scene is just incredible. I watched this many times. I'm always just marveled at how they're able to, it's almost like a choreographed dance but it's fast paced, and you're just like amazed by all the acrobatic moves that are being done by the many martial artists that are in this movie. Definitely worth the check out if you like martial arts movies at all, if you like action movies at all. Definitely watch this just for the action, if nothing else. Story wise, maybe not the best, but I love this action so much. That's why it's so high on my list. It's definitely like top 5 favorite kung fu movie of all time. Anyway, so that's Crippled Avengers at number 11. So that's the last movie on my list today. Next time I'll get into my top 10. Please comment on what you think about the movies I've said so far and what your favorite movies of the 70s are. Love to read those comments. And just thank you for watching this video. Thank you to all my subscribers for supporting me, and I really appreciate it. Have a good day.